Welcome. I'm tired and out of breath right now. I'm just getting ready for the day, and I thought I would answer your questions whilst I do that because I haven't done that in a little bit. So I asked you guys on Instagram what questions you had for me, and I'm going to answer them thusly. I'm just going to set my little eyeballs. I need to make a decision as to what I'm doing on my face here today. I feel like I just want to do like a soft glam situation, you know? I'm going to use my Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk eye palette. I'm probably going to be using predominantly these three. Date flavor. Let me pull up a question. What are my thoughts on the royal family? I have like zero thoughts, basically. I'm not like hip with like the royal family shit. Like I don't know anything about it. Someone asked if I've ever considered running for some kind of public office. No, because I'm a beauty YouTuber. Simply put, people like joke about this to me, but like I do not know enough about that kind of shit to run for anything. I have no right to do that. So I would literally never. And I also just don't feel like, I wish that politics created more change than they actually do. I think that they have the ability to create change, but I think that the way that so many of our systems are set up make it so that it's like virtually impossible to do so because there will always be an opposing side in democratic countries. And I think that as much as obviously that's a valuable thing, the system's set up in a way that it favors who it wants to favor. And that's typically not the general public. So I think that I would feel very downtrodden if I was to ever get into a life of politics. What a question. What a first cue for a beauty video. Okay. Any trips planned? None. I have no trips planned. Someone asked, in what ways has your job changed since quarantine started? Has work gone down? And a lot of people were also asking me how this changed my relationship with Matt. It has changed work a little bit because a lot of companies are obviously, they're taking like a financial hit. Everyone's really struggling through this. On the podcast, we've had some ads canceled. Work's definitely been like slower, but that's okay. I'm in a really privileged position anyway, so I personally haven't been affected monetarily that much through this. I can still, comfortably pay my bills and stuff like that, so I can't really complain too much about that, Oh yeah, and how has it changed my relationship with Matt? We talked about this on I think that was on the podcast. Me and Matt did a podcast together when Alyssa was feeling sick. It hasn't really changed our relationship at all because Matt often works from home as well. And from the beginning of our relationship, we both spent a lot of time working kind of like in each other's areas and stuff like that. So it wasn't really like a huge change. It wasn't like we went from both of us working out of the house to both of us being inside trying to figure out how that was going to like jive. It's fine. Didn't change anything for us at all. Someone said, can you briefly explain your experience with universal healthcare? We've really got a range of questions here today. My experience with universal healthcare has been phenomenal. I know that there's people that feel, differently about it. For me and for my family, it's just been, like a huge blessing for us. Like we wouldn't have been able to get through a lot of like what's happened to our family if it wasn't for universal healthcare. Most of you probably know my oldest brother got into a car accident when I was in grade 11. Yeah, I was in grade 11 going into grade 12, sorry. So it was like the first like weekend of summer vacation, if I recall correctly. And it was Father's Day as well. And is that right? It was June 20th, I think it was. Hold on, sorry, let me look this up really quickly. Yeah, it was June 20th. And my brother got into a car accident just with himself. And he had to be airlifted out of where he crashed. And then he was in a coma. He had a brain injury. He had to like relearn how to walk and talk. So he was in the hospital for a very extended amount of time. And we just like, I just can't even imagine how much all the like rehabilitation that he had to go through, let alone like being in the ICU for an extended period of time. I just can't even imagine what that would have translated to financially in countries where universal healthcare isn't available. So I don't know that we would have been able to care for him the same way. And so, you know, Aaron, my brother, he still receives care today. So he still has like outpatient, you know, therapists and stuff like that, like physical therapists and different stuff that help him. Not that that was a good experience, obviously, but like we were so happy and grateful that obviously like he was taken care of. And then my dad got into a motorcycle accident. Oh, we've really like freaking gone through the ringer, but my dad got into a motorcycle accident and shattered his pelvis in I think 4 different places. So he was in the hospital for an extended period of time after that and had to have surgery. Again, it was like just such a blessing that we were able to, you know, have him healed and not have it be, I mean like situations like that are so stressful for the people involved. And like, I just think having the financial stress on top of that is like so inhumane. So my experience has been really positive. I do know that like there are people who, you know, need access to surgeries and stuff like that and they have really, really long wait times. I haven't personally experienced that, knock on wood. So I can never actually like knock on wood properly because the dogs will be like, what is that? But yeah, that's my experience. Oh, they said, can you briefly explain? That wasn't brief. I'm so sorry. Someone says, Samantha, I've been wondering for years what happened to the camo jacket. If you're not in the know, I had this camo jacket that I wore everywhere. Like this jacket has been through the fucking ringer with me. I've taken it to a multitude of countries. It literally was just, it never left my side. I still have it, okay? Because I refuse to throw it out, because memories, but also because it cost me a fucking arm and a leg. This is the jacket in question. The reason I haven't worn it as much is because, well, it started getting holes like around the pockets and stuff like that, you can see. And then there was like a little hole on the side, which turned into this gaping hole that goes around. Oh yeah, and this one has like a hole in the bottom, which was shitty because things that I would put in my pockets. Wait, where's that hole? Or was it the other side? One of them has a hole in the bottom of the pocket, so shit falls out of it, which was not, I mean, it's just not how a pocket is supposed to operate. But anyways, this gigantic gaping hole is why I've stopped wearing it, but I still have it. And I'll never get rid of it. So that's that. What is the difference between you IRL and your internet persona? I just don't know. I feel like I wouldn't be able to like reasonably answer that myself. Hold on, let me ask Alyssa.
Hi, you've reached Alyssa. I'm not able to get to the phone right now, but leave me a message and I will get back to you as soon as I can.
How fucking rude.
Have a great day.
What a like precious little answering machine message. Hey, you reached Alyssa. I'll go fuck myself. She doesn't want to talk to me today. Let's see if you call back, Alyssa. Oh, here she is. Well. Hold on. Hello.
Hello.
Oh, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Here's a question for you. What would you say is the biggest difference between my internet persona and my IRL persona?
Nothing.
Okay. How deeply unsatisfying.
Sorry. What did you say?
I said how deeply unsatisfying of a response for everyone.
Let me think.
All right.
God, I don't know. You really are just the same.
Okay, I'll ask Matt too for verification.
Well, I want to come up with a cooler answer than Matt does.
You can think about it. You can get back to me.
Okay. Give me, time to breathe with it.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Matthew? what would you say is the biggest difference between my IRL personality and my internet persona?
Nothing. You have a bit of you're more of a showman, I guess, for the internet. A bit
More of a
flair.
showman. I'm a bit more what?
A bit more flair.
Okay, there you go. Alyssa said nothing too. And then I was like, okay, well, I'll ask Matt for verification. And she's like, well, I want to come up with a better answer than Matt.
What'd she say?
She said nothing, and then she said, I have to think on it.
And then when she hears my answer, she'll be like, yeah.
Well, I hope that you are all highly satisfied by that answer. I'm trying to think if I like have like a realistic response to that question. I'm sure that I am slightly less, I'm trying to find lashes in my like dirty, gross lash bowl. I'm sure that I'm like slightly less exuberant in person than I am here. I really hope you enjoyed that answer. Can I join the commune? Honestly, like, probably not. The commune's gonna be a tight lockup, all right? Someone asked what made me start with the short baby nails. They're so cute. Thanks. Here's the thing, okay? I started doing my own nails last winter. I started trying to learn how to do my own acrylic and stuff. I enjoy doing it, but it's very, very time consuming because like obviously I'm not like trained. I'm literally just going off of what I'm learning on the internet and what I've learned through like watching people do my nails over the years and stuff. So I do think it's like fun, but it's super time consuming. And the thing that I noticed was that I wouldn't really change up like my nail color as much. So I bought all these like nice, pretty like gel nail colors. And I wouldn't really like change up my nail color that often because I would just feel like, okay, well, I spent like 3 to 4 hours doing my own acrylics. So I'm going to do something that I'm going to want to wear for a really long time. So part of it was that I was just tired of doing my own acrylics and like how time consuming it was for me. And then part of it was that I wanted to wear all my cute nail polish colors. And then lastly, I just like having short nails sometimes. Like sometimes I just kind of get like a little bit over acrylics and I just want like tiny little nubbin nails that I can, you know, like rub my eyes with hand sanitizer on and put makeup on with little nubbly nails and stuff. It's great. So that's that. I'm gonna put on my little lashes. Oh shit. I just like ripped apart this lash. Oh no. I was trying to like take glue off this lash and then I just ended up like ripping the like little band out of it. But I think I can still probably get away with wearing it. Okay, I'm just not gonna take that glue off. It can just be thick and chonky on there. That's fine. Just going to put little glue on my lashes and let it dry a little. Why do you always listen to music while you film? So many reasons. It helps me concentrate mostly. So it helps me concentrate on what I'm doing and also on not taking as much time recording. But also I feel like it helps me be less like stressed or anxious. So if I'm filming and I'm not feeling like 100% that day, which is most days obviously, I feel like it helps me a lot to be playing music. So I don't know, I just, I play music all the time. Like if I'm reading, I'm also playing music. If I'm playing Animal Crossing, I'm also playing music. If I'm cooking, I'm playing music. Like I'm playing music doing like virtually anything else. So it's just how it is, man. And a lot of people ask me what I listen to too. A lot of the times I'm listening to things that are like pretty calm and chill. Like Sufjan Stevens is a big one for me. So there you go. How will you approach a plant-based diet with your children if when you have them? I've been asked this a lot of times. I think for me, hold on, let me get my tweezers. So my plan in the future is that I would probably, cook my kids like what I'm cooking for myself, which would be like predominantly plant-based. But if we were out and they wanted to try something else, I don't think that I would say no. Like, I don't think I'd be like, no, you can't order chicken tenders. Or like if they were at a kid's birthday party and like the birthday cake had eggs in it or something, I wouldn't like refuse my kid having cake. That's basically it. I just, I mean, I know that there's people that are like really, really militant about that kind of stuff, and I understand why. But I think that, you know, like in terms of children, I feel like all you can really do is just teach them and hope that they make the best decision for themselves. And the best decision for themselves might not necessarily mirror exactly what the best decision for me is, you know? Who knows in the moment, but that's my thought right this second. Let me quickly put on, I need to like move this makeup along so Alyssa isn't editing for 12 years. So let me just quickly do like my concealer and such, since it's always the same anyways. Okay, I'm gonna mix up my foundation, same mix as last time. My 2 shades of the Rare Beauty foundation. There's like a bike-capade happening outside my house. It's like pissing rain out, like not even like it's raining, like it's like a monsoon. Guess biking doesn't quit, you know, rain or shine. That's what that group says. Okay, so I'm mixing my little 2 shades of the Rare Beauty foundation, and then I'm mixing a nice healthy squirt of the luminizer in there, and I'm gonna mix it all up. I cannot for the fucking life of me find that other palette knife that's bigger, so I have to use this like minuscule one. My knife's really difficult. Let me pull up another question. If you could only wear one for the rest of your life, would it be brows or lashes? Brows. Brows, but I would be like really upset about the loss of lashes. Like I'd cry daily, probably. Will you try Makeup by Mario? I don't know, man. I'm kind of like a little bit disappointed. Like I guess that this is the thing, okay, for me. I feel like there's so much makeup on the market. I've always like loved like nice packaging. Like I've always loved my products to have like really nice packaging, because I just feel like I enjoy that whole experience. And I think that because there's so many brands on the market and there's so many products on the market, it's pretty rare that people are coming out with things that are like absolutely groundbreaking. And because of that, it's sort of like I'd rather have my product be, you know, an enjoyable experience from like start to finish. When brands come out with kind of like not nice packaging, especially because like I don't know his price point, but I'm assuming his price point will be like a little bit higher than like a ColourPop, for instance. So if the brand isn't like budget friendly, I'm like really sad about like not interesting packaging, basically. And that is my first impression of Makeup by Mario. So I feel like I won't be super inclined to like run out and buy things. I think with that brand, it'll be something more where like if friends of mine are like, ooh, like I really like this one thing from him, then I'll probably pick up something like later on. I don't know. It just like his packaging reminds me so much of like Kim KW makeup or like Kylie or whatever. And I'm just like, it's just like, I know you've got that coin, you know, to like, let's just like elevate that packaging a little bit, basically. I'm not like jumping at it, that's for sure. Do you ever regret making your career what it is due to the lack of privacy and critics? That makes me sound like way like cooler than I am. I wouldn't say that I regret this career. I regret like not being in therapy sooner, maybe. And I regret how I've dealt with it over the years, because I think like both internally and externally, because internally, like I've struggled with, you know, like the downsides of this career for like years and years, and wasn't really like coping with it in a proper way, proper for me. I can't say that I regret this career, because like I am grateful for all of the things that it's afforded me and the lifestyle it's afforded me and the opportunities and all that kind of stuff, which like I just don't think would have been possible through, you know, working at like a makeup counter or whatever, like what I was doing before this. I don't know if that lash is gonna stay on, but I'm just gonna like let it like lead its life. Yeah, I guess that I just wish that I had figured out a healthier way to cope earlier on, so that maybe like some of the damage from it wasn't as like long lasting, because I still really struggle with, you know, social media to some extent. I do think as I've gotten older, it's gotten easier for me as well, because I can take a step back and, you know, try and see from the other side a little bit on some things. It's a tricky path, that's for sure. Someone asked if I would make an updated favorite cream products video. I've been getting this question a lot actually in my comments of my YouTube videos. I'm gonna have to go back and watch my last favorite cream product video, because this is the thing. Cream products are like still not that big on the like general market. So I kind of have an inkling that I'm gonna go back to that video, and half the stuff I'm not going to be using anymore, because I am trying to like cut out products that aren't cruelty free. And then there hasn't been like a ton of new cream products on the market. So I feel like there won't be much to update on. I have to go back and watch that video. That's my response. What do you think is the most underrated product out there and the most overrated? I think there's a lot of products that are underrated, and I think it's just because they don't like fit perfectly into what's like trendy right this second. So for a long time, we've been seeing, you know, a lot of like emphasis on like matte. So matte foundations, matte primers, matte lipsticks, just like matte everything. I think that because of that, a lot of like cream products fall between the cracks that are still really great products. So underrated, yeah, I'm just gonna say cream products, cop out. And most overrated, I would say the Laura Mercier setting powder. I do not understand the hype, even moderately so. Like, I feel like that powder makes me look so cakey. I don't get why people love it so much. I really do not understand, and I will never understand. That's the one that comes off the top of my head. I'm gonna use my Salt bronzers in light and light medium. A lot of people have asked me if I will start vlogging again or do like cooking videos or whatever. I don't know that I will ever start like full-time vlogging again, where I'm like uploading every single week, because one, it's a lot of work. Just, you know, it is. And my life is like pretty boring. So I found that when I was vlogging, I was having to like really go out of my way to try and figure out like what would be like interesting to watch. And I know people are like, anything's interesting, I'd watch you watch paint dry. But like you wouldn't though. And like week after week after week, it becomes uninteresting when like all I'm doing is like sitting at home and I'm like, hi, I'm answering emails, and hi, I'm taking a Zoom call, and hi, now I'm just sitting and thinking about life. Like it's not particularly interesting. So I don't know that I would ever start vlogging again, but I've thought about doing some cooking videos here and there, because I'm trying to cook more at home, and because food is like the truth. That's the way. That's the only thing there is in this life. So maybe, I don't know. My non-definitive answer. Okay, are you intuitive? What is your main tool for making decisions? My main tool for making decisions is, I cannot even describe to you how like split second my decision making is 99% of the time. Like pretty much I'm presented with whatever and I'm like, this one. There is nothing behind it. Like it's just, I am not the person to like really sit and ponder and be like, well, but, you know, like I know the answer that I want to give. So I just give it and deal with any potential repercussions later on. Someone said, what apps do you use on your phone? In general, social, productivity, etc. I don't use any apps. So I have mentioned this a few times, but I have two phones, one for the plug, one for the load, okay? I have this phone right here where I'm answering your Instagram questions. So this phone is where I have all of my apps. Like I have my Twitter and my Instagram and all that kind of crap. And I rarely use this phone. And then on this phone, it's like so sad. On this phone, I have like nothing on it. So this is the phone that I use like every day. And I have like 10 contacts. I have like my banking and calendar and Pinterest. It's like and my email. It's very uninteresting. But that's the phone that I use the most, which, yeah, has no apps on it. Someone said, how do you feel about Hourglass releasing another non-inclusive holiday collection? Oh, I have some feelings. Here's the thing about the perpetual cycle of brands that are choosing to not be inclusive, okay? If you're somebody that's not being catered to through a brand, okay, so typically people that are on like the deeper spectrum of, foundation and shade ranges in general, if you come to a brand and you see that they're not catering to you and you see that, they don't have any products that will work for your skin tone, I just can't imagine that you're gonna keep checking back and be like, oh, well, I'll just wait. Like, I'm an afterthought, but like, I'll wait until you catch up with the times and release something for me, So this is what I've noticed. There's obviously been this push for inclusivity, and especially, in the industry, like post Fenty release, there's been this push for inclusivity, which is fantastic. And I think that the issue is that if brands don't start out as inclusive, like with Fenty, that Fenty is always going to be inclusive like you would hope. Like, that you can go there and find your foundation shade, hopefully, and a blush that's going to work for you and a bronzer that's going to work for you and whatever. So you're going to keep going back to that brand, obviously, because they've catered to you from the beginning. Whereas a brand that has predominantly catered to white people exclusively, why would you keep checking back? So when those brands then try to jump on the inclusivity train in respects to just like having it be a marketing thing, oftentimes like those products won't do well. They won't sell because people know that you're not an inclusive brand, so they don't come back and check if they're an afterthought that you decided to like catch up on. So those products don't do well, so then the brand feels justified in not being inclusive in the future. And I think that that's what's going on with Hourglass, if I had to guess. It's just disappointing. It sucks because I really do love Hourglass as a brand, and I think that their products I think they have really, really nice products, and I enjoy a lot of them. But, it's hard having a platform like this because I don't necessarily want to recommend something that not all of you can enjoy, So it's just disappointing, but it just gets to the point where it's like either you're with it or you're not, and if you're not, then you can't expect support from people of different skin tones, basically. So I don't know. Someone said, do you feel the benefits of being a public figure outweigh the negatives? I would say generally yes, but I do think there are people that enjoy being a public figure more than others, so they benefit from more aspects of it. So like over the years, like I've known other influencers that they really enjoyed the like being known, like public figure aspect of it. Like they enjoy that people know who they are and stuff, and enjoy kind of like all the things that come along with that. So like that used to be like lots of traveling and brand trips and stuff like that, and meeting other influencers and just all that stuff. I would say that I don't enjoy like the whole spectrum as much. So I think that overall, yes, I do think the good outweighs the bad, but I'm definitely not, I definitely don't enjoy every single aspect of it as much as other people do. Like I'm not dying to go on brand trips and travel as much these days. I would say that I don't care about people like knowing who I am or not kind of thing. I think it's like cool when I meet people that know me and stuff from online, but if I was with somebody else and they were recognized and I wasn't, I wouldn't be like, what the fuck? I'd be like, that's fair. They're pretty fucking dope. Yeah, I don't know. That's my non-response, I guess. Where do you see the beauty industry heading? I mean, I've been saying for quite some time that I see the industry heading towards more cream products, and then like it just like hasn't fully happened. But I really like, I do stand by that. Like I do think that cream products will become like more and more, you know, enjoyed widely. I think inclusivity will continue to be an important aspect of the beauty industry, and I think pushing for that in all respects will continue to be important, and hopefully will be more important even than it is right now. I think like the trends will start leaning more towards like natural-ish makeup, so more kind of like on the range of like Glossier and nude sticks and, you know, stuff like that. I could see that happening. I think that celebrity brands will continue to be a thing. I think that a lot of celebrities will continue to like kind of, you know, throw in their brands in the ring, just because it's been so successful for the celebrities that have done it thus far. I think that lip products are going to take a hit in like a post-COVID world. I think that obviously it's interesting trying to foresee what things are going to be like after COVID, because I just wonder if things will ever go completely back to normal. So, you know, like the plexiglass between us and cashiers and bank tellers and stuff like that, I don't know that they'll take those down, because it's sort of like, why would you at that point? Like, who knows when this can happen again? So are you gonna like go through the effort of like taking it all down just to potentially put it back up? So I could see things like that staying up. I could see things, I could see some people choosing to continue to wear masks. I wonder how that will reflect on the beauty industry and just every industry really, because yeah, lip products probably won't be doing great for the next little while just because everyone's wearing a mask, obviously. But those are my predictions. Someone said, what has been the biggest surprise result starting a podcast, especially with Alyssa? We were talking about this recently. I can't remember if we talked about it on the podcast or not. If you don't know, now you know. I have a podcast with my best pal, Alyssa, and it's called Approachable. We're everywhere that you listen to your podcast, so you should go check it out maybe. I don't know. But I think the biggest surprise for me was that I've just learned so much about Alyssa and myself, I would say, but predominantly Alyssa, which is like hilarious because this is somebody that I've known for like over 10 years, probably closer to 12 now, I guess. Yeah, I've known her for quite some time. And once we started the podcast, I just like have learned so much about like her thoughts on things and past experiences in her life and stuff like that. So I really feel like it's allowed us to kind of like know each other on a deeper level. But also there'll be times when we're recording where like I'm coming to a conclusion as I'm talking through it. So I think it's just kind of a cool platform because we're able to have longer form conversations about topics that maybe we wouldn't normally sit and like talk about. So yeah. That's what I would say. Someone said, how do you balance staying informed with staying mentally stable, politics and eco stuff? Eco stuff is probably the thing that I struggle with the most, just because I feel like it's this like impending doom that I know isn't going to change anytime soon, which is like just absolutely horrific to me. Politics is something that will always be unstable. So I think that first of all, it bears mentioning that I would say that I'm like in a privileged position to not worry that much about politics, you know what I mean? So that's that. But yeah, it's really hard with eco stuff because I just know that it's not like a priority generally speaking. So I know there won't be like a huge push for regulations around that. And, you know, we're causing irreparable damage to the planet. So that's just really upsetting to me. And I have a very hard time ingesting content about that specifically. In terms of everything else that's going on, I just kind of like take it day by day. So I'll wake up and I'll be reading through the news and stuff like that, and there's some days where I feel like I can manage it, and I feel that, like I know that I'm able to, you know, be fine. But then there's other days where I just immediately feel really, really down and really hopeless, and just like I can tell that it's going to be like a shitty day for that. So those are the days where I choose to just kind of take a step back and not pay as much attention to the news cycle. It's hard, obviously. We all want to stay informed with what's going on, well, most of us do. I do think as well, you know, especially with what's going on, all of the things that are going on right now in our world, I do think it's important to look out for your mental health as well, because if you aren't taking care of yourself, then you're not going to be functioning in the best way that you can. Someone posted this from someone else's feed the other day on Instagram, and it said, if you don't take care of your wellness, if you don't like basically choose to take care of your wellness, then you're going to be forced to take care of your illness. And I really do believe that. Like, I think that a lot of the times we just keep pushing through things and hope that like we'll just be fine, but you aren't because you're just burning yourself out. So, you know, when it comes to protecting your mental health and all that kind of stuff, like a lot of people ask me questions about like how I'm staying motivated during this time and stuff like that, and how I'm staying upbeat and whatever. You don't have to. You don't have to stay motivated and upbeat. We're in the middle of a pandemic. We've talked about this before. You do not have to feel like you have to be performing at like the absolute peak of your abilities when the entire world isn't able to perform that way, because we're experiencing a lot right now. Like, there's just a lot of injustices going on. There's a lot of scary things happening in the world. And on top of that, we're dealing with this pandemic, which has completely changed every single person's lives to some extent. So I just try to have compassion for myself, and I try to have compassion for others, in knowing that, you know, we're all just hopefully doing the best that we can. And that's really it, man. And I'm not gonna blow dry my hair. So this is just take me as I am kind of situation. Thanks so much, guys, for hanging out. Thank you for your questions, and I will see you guys next time. Peace out.